Hey everyone, it's Jill Celeste here with your weekly marketing strategy video. And today I want to talk to you about having successful virtual coffee dates. So as I film this video, we are still in the middle of the pandemic and a lot of us are working virtually from home. And our marketing's had to shift. Specifically, a lot of us are doing exclusive virtual marketing. And even when things start to ease up, I do think things like in-person coffee dates will be a little bit slow in coming back into the mainstream. So it's time for us to embrace virtual coffee dates now and for the future. And trust me when I say that virtual coffee dates can be as successful as the in-person ones as long as you have a process. So that's what I'm going to share with you today, a 4-step process to successful virtual coffee dates. So let's get right to it. So the first step is, of course, to identify who you want to have a virtual coffee date with. Once you figure out who that is, and remember, this is about referrals, so you want to make sure it's somebody who's going to give you referrals and that you can return the favor. Once you identify who that is, I want you to approach that person through email or however you normally talk to him. And I want you to say, listen, I believe I can send some referrals to your business. Do you want to meet for a virtual coffee date? And you can tell me more about your business and I can tell you more about mine. When you position it that way, it's about the other person. And of course, he or she is going to say yes. So once the commitment is made, the second step is for you to determine the virtual way you're going to do this. Now, here's what I want you to do. I really want you to leverage video conferencing technology. There's a lot out there. Most popular is Zoom. And that may be the one that you go with, but if that's not available, you could use FaceTime, you could use Skype, even you could use Facebook. They have video conferencing right through Facebook Messenger. And if none of that's available, then just use the telephone, okay? So once you figure out how you're going to meet virtually, the third step is to have the coffee date. Now, do a little homework before you meet on the Zoom call or wherever you're doing. And make sure you really know who your ideal client is so that you can share that information with your potential referral partner. So here's how I would set the pace for this, because you want to make sure that you both are walking away with information to give each other referrals. I would say at the beginning of the Zoom call, I am so glad that you're meeting with me today. Let's have you talk for 15 minutes about your business, and then I'll talk about my business for the final 15 minutes. That sets the stage so that both of you get a turn. And don't be afraid to set the timer to make sure everybody's doing this equally. When your referral partner is talking, make sure you get a full understanding of who his ideal client is. And if you're not sure, be sure to ask. And then if you know someone, while you're doing the call, if you can make a connection right there through texting or Facebook Messenger, that would be really a great gesture. And then maybe that'll get returned to you when it's your turn to do the 15 minutes. Make sure when it's your turn again that you're really explaining who your ideal client is so you get the great referrals back from that person. And make sure to ask, do you know someone who fits this ideal client? Get names if you can, okay? Then the third step is once the call is done. The third step is all about, this is the fourth step, is all about follow-up, okay? So follow-up is something that most entrepreneurs don't do, even though the fortune's in the follow-up. We often think about follow-up, we think about follow-up with our clients, but really in this fourth step, we're following up with our referral partners, okay? So as soon as that call is over, I want you to send an email. And I want you to summarize the call, who that person's ideal client is. Make sure you reinforce who your ideal client is and to thank them for their time. The next step after that is to go to your calendar and figure out how often you want to follow up with this person. Because you see, people have great intentions, but unless you're waving your hands around and constantly reminding that you are here to serve, you may be forgotten in the process. It's normal. So think about how often you want to follow up with this person. Maybe it's a quarterly coffee date, or maybe it's just reaching out monthly through email. Put that in your calendar so you don't forget. And then be sure to follow up with any leads that person gives you and vice versa so that you can continue that relationship going forward. So that's it. That's the 4-step process. I'll repeat it. So it's figuring out who you want to have the coffee date with, figuring out the technology, for the coffee date, having the coffee date, and then following up. Okay, you can do this. I'm rooting for you. Here's to your marketing success. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.